Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves in the media world. Savannah Guthrie's upcoming two-part interview with Hoda Kotb on Today. But here's the thing. This isn't just another celebrity sit-down. It's raw, it's personal, and it's happening against the backdrop of a family's nightmare. Savannah's mother, Nancy, has been missing since January 31st, and this interview is her first public statement about it. Personally, I think this is one of those moments where the line between public figure and private person blurs completely. What makes this really interesting is how NBC is handling it. They're not just throwing Savannah back into the anchor chair without addressing the elephant in the room. Instead, they're giving her a platform to share her story, which, in my opinion, is both a strategic move and a humane one. Now, let's talk about the choice of Hoda Kotb as the interviewer. From my perspective, this is a masterstroke. Hoda is a familiar face to Today viewers, and she's someone Savannah likely feels comfortable with. But here's the kicker. Hoda is no longer a full-time staffer at the show. She's an insider with just enough distance to navigate this delicate conversation. What many people don't realize is that this dynamic allows for a level of authenticity that might have been lost with someone too close to the day-to-day grind. It's like having a friend who's also a professional. The best of both worlds. But let's take a step back and think about the bigger picture here. Savannah's absence from Today has coincided with a surge in viewership. Quarter-to-date numbers show the show pulling in 3.1 million viewers, up 14% from last year. That's huge. And while it's easy to attribute this to morbid curiosity, people tuning in to see how the show handles her absence, I think it's more than that. Savannah is a beloved figure, and her ordeal has humanized her in a way that's drawn people closer to the show. It's a reminder that even the most polished anchors are real people with real struggles. What this really suggests is that NBC is walking a tightrope here. On one hand, they've got a program that's a cash cow, raking in over $300 million in ad revenue in 2025. On the other, they've got a star anchor dealing with a personal crisis that's still unfolding. Nancy Guthrie's fate remains unknown, and that uncertainty adds another layer of complexity. If there's a new development in the case, Savannah might need more time away. That's a logistical nightmare for any show, but especially one as high stakes as Today. A detail I find fascinating is how this situation compares to past NBC strategies. Remember when Brian Williams was pulled from NBC Nightly News after his Iraq reporting scandal? They did a similar thing, a sit-down interview to ease him back into the public eye. But Savannah's case is different. Williams' scandal was about credibility. Savannah's situation is about empathy. And that's where the real challenge lies. How do you reintroduce someone who's been through something so traumatic without it feeling exploitative? In my opinion, the key here is authenticity. Savannah's interview clip already shows her being vulnerable, saying, "We are in agony. She needs to come home now." That kind of raw emotion is rare in morning TV. And it's what makes this moment so powerful. But it also raises a deeper question. How much of this vulnerability is too much? Where's the line between sharing a personal story and oversharing? Personally, I think NBC is threading the needle well so far, but it's a fine line to walk. What makes this really stand out to me is how it reflects broader trends in media. In an era where audiences crave authenticity, this kind of storytelling, raw, unfiltered, and deeply human, is what resonates. It's not just about ratings or revenue, it's about connection. And in a world where news cycles move at lightning speed, moments like these remind us to pause and remember that the people on our screens are just that, people. So, as we wait for Savannah's return to the anchor desk, I'm left wondering, how will this experience change her? How will it change Today? And what does it say about the role of personal storytelling in media today? One thing's for sure. This isn't just a story about a missing person or a TV show. It's a story about resilience, empathy, and the power of sharing our truths. And that, my friends, is what makes it unforgettable.